Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all my lovely students. I hope you all are doing well. You all are fit and fine at your home. Today we'll start our new chapter from Grammar Guide textbook, that is chapter number 15, Punctuation. So all of you, first of all, take your textbook, take your Grammar Guide textbook and open at page number 102. Now students, what is punctuation? Do you know punctuations are very important while writing? If you are writing anything, so the reader who is reading our text, who can understand only when we are writing with the correct punctuation marks. The meaning can only be clear because of punctuation. Even, while speaking, if we are speaking continuously without any pause, so the listener will be fed up. The listener will not understand our meaning, what we actually want to say him or her. So, likewise, while writing also, punctuations are very important. While reading, if we are without pause, without any question mark, without any comma, without any full stop, if you are just reading continuously, so not the listener understand, even not we too understand what we are reading. So students, punctuations are very important while speaking, while writing, while reading. Now, how to read, how to write, how to speak, that we can understand if we understand punctuation, each punctuation. So students, today we will learn punctuation, how to use it, where to use it. So let's start our new chapter, that's punctuation, which is given in your textbook at page number 102. So first of all of you open your textbook and take it out your pencil. We'll learn this chapter, we'll underline some important points too. Now students, look at this all punctuation. Do you know? It's known as what? It's known as question mark. We can use while writing, while speaking, question sentence. It's known as quotation marks. It's known as exclamation marks. This is known as comma and the long pause, that is full stop. Now we'll learn all these punctuation one by one. Now first of all, look at students. This very small exercise given in your textbook. So we have to here underline the correct punctuation with these names. Match each punctuation mark to its name. Here we have to match it. This name with the correct punctuation marks. Now look at here, quotation marks. I already said before, so I hope you are clear about it. What is quotation marks? It's a quotation marks. What's a full stop? This is full stop. Exclamation marks here and comma, it's here. So these are all punctuation. After, you have to write your own sentences using at least one punctuation mark. So here students, you have to write only one sentence. Use any punctuation from it. You just write, my name is this. Whatever your name, just write it and put a full stop. So you have used full stop and you have written one sentence. If you want to use comma, you can write, I like chocolate, candy, ice cream, full stop. So between chocolate, candy and ice cream, you have to put a comma. If you want to use exclamation mark, so which sentence you have to write? What a lovely day. What a beautiful dress. What a pretty girl, etc. And after you have to put these exclamation marks. Then quotation marks. Now students, you don't make the sentence which has quotation marks. First of all, we learn how to use it quotation marks. I know that these three punctuation you know very well. That's why just make a sentence by using these three punctuation: full stop, exclamation mark, and comma. Quotation marks, first of all we'll learn, then we'll make a sentence related quotation marks. Yes, now we continue with this chapter. We'll learn each punctuation with example. The purpose of punctuation is to make the meaning of written words clear. Now, what is the purpose for punctuation? The purpose of punctuation is to make the meaning of written words clear. Whatever you have written, if you want to understand, if the reader who is reading your text want to understand what you have written, if that person wants to understand the meaning of your writing work, so for that punctuations are very important. The following are the main punctuation marks. Now students, here underline this sentence. The purpose of punctuation is to make the meaning of written words clear. Now look at the first one, full stop. Some punctuations are the main punctuation like full stop, question mark, exclamation mark, comma, quotation marks, or you can say inverted commas, and apostrophe. These 6 punctuations are very important by writing any work. Now first of all, we'll see full stop with example. The full stop is used at the end of a sentence which is not a question or an exclamation. Now students, this dot is known as full stop. So this full stop we have to use at the end of a sentence. But which sentence? Which is simple sentence, which is not a question sentence and which is not an exclamation sentence. So with the simple sentence, we have to put a full stop. Here I am writing one sentence. I am a teacher. So it's a simple sentence. I am a teacher. After you have to put a full stop. But if it's a question sentence, so that time you don't have to put a full stop. That time you have to put a question mark. But here we have to write a simple sentence. So with a simple sentence, you have to put at the end full stop. Now look at one example. I got up late today. It's a very simple sentence. I got up late today. Switch off the television and do your homework. It's a simple sentence. With this, we have to put a full stop. If you say, I am a student, I am a boy, I am a girl. So with this, you have to put a full stop. If you're speaking simple sentence, so with this you have to put a full stop. Now look at the second one, the question mark. Question mark is used at the end of a direct question. If you're asking any question, with these you have to put a question mark at the end. What are you? Why are you late? Have you learned to use the internet? How are you? With this sentence also, you have to put a question mark. So, where there is a direct question asked, where there is a direct question written, with this you have to put this punctuation mark. It's known as question mark. Now look at students, another punctuation, that is the exclamation mark. This is known as exclamation mark. Exclamation mark is used at the end of an exclamation or an interjection sentence. So students, underline this sentence. The exclamation marks we can use at the end of an exclamation or interjection sentence. Interjection is another word for exclamation. What a good idea. Exclamation means sudden feeling. Suddenly we have seen something, suddenly we have heard something, and that sudden feeling came inside from the outside. It's known as exclamation. It's known as exclamation sentence. What a good idea. Here written one. What a good idea. Now look at here. These sentences start with the WH question. Earlier we have seen how are you? Why are you late? What are you doing? So don't think that those sentences we have used question mark, and here why we have used exclamation mark. Now look at here. After those sentence in question mark, there is used helping verb or sometimes subject to. But here after that sudden feelings used here, like what a good idea, how tall you have grown, bravo, well played. So when suddenly feeling some came outside, for that we have to use exclamation mark. Oh, forgot to do my homework. You have suddenly remembered that I forgot to do my homework. So for that we have to use exclamation marks. Now look at another punctuation, that is the comma. Now comma we have used mainly. Now here there are 3 reasons. There are 3 to 4 points given to you where we have to use comma. Now look at number 1. To separate words in a series of lists, but usually not when joined by and. So when there is a series of words like apple, banana, like these fruits name given together, many fruits name given together, apple, banana, pineapple, watermelon, etc. So that time between all the fruits name you have to put a comma. But if you say like this, apple, banana, pineapple and watermelon. So between pineapple and watermelon you don't have to put a full stop. So this sentence is just want to say this, that between the separate words you have to put a comma. But if you use and, pineapple and watermelon, so after pineapple you don't have to use comma. Directly after watermelon you have to put a full stop because your sentence is over here. Apple, then comma, banana, comma, pineapple and watermelon. That time don't have to use any comma. Directly at the end of this sentence you have to put a full stop. Here look at the example. I have bought beans, carrots, tomatoes and onions. Now look at here, beans, comma, carrots, comma, tomatoes and onions. Now between these 2 words and is used. That's why here we don't have to put a comma, and at the end we have to put a full stop. He knows Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Hindi and English. Now look at here, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Hindi and English. Here and is used. That's why between comma will not come. You have to put here with the same series. Look at here. Here same word series is given. These all are used for the language. So when the same series is given, that time between you have to put a comma. But between these two words, if and is given, then you don't have to put comma. At the end, we have to put a full stop. This is one rule where we have to put a comma. When there is a series of words, when there is a list of words given, that time we have to put comma. To separate a direct quotation before or after he said, she replied, and so on, when writing down conversation. So here, to separate a direct quotation, he said, I can't come with you. So here, he said, what the person said. After you have to put a comma. He said, she said, he replied, she replied, he advised, she advised. With these you have to put a comma. I can't come with you, he said. Now look at here. To separate this sentence, what the person said. To separate what another person said and what's the words of that another person, between you have to put a comma. Now another rule related, comma, to separate words used in addressing people. Means when you use a person's name, so that name or that words will be separate. What you have addressing some person, that must be separate. Meg, what are you doing here? Now look at here. You are separating. You are addressing Meg. What are you doing here? You are saying Meg something. So after Meg name, you have to put a comma. Meg, what are you doing here? Look at here. Come in, Divya. Here you are addressing. You are saying Divya to come inside. So here you have to separate that sentence and the person name. What are you doing here? Come in, Divya, and sit here. Now look at here. If you are using many words, many different words, like what are you doing here, comma, come in, Divya, and sit here. Here, look at what are you doing here? You can say Meg, or you can say Divya, and after you have to put a question mark. What are you doing here? Meg. Not only here, your sentence is not over here, but if you are using here like Meg, what are you doing here? Meg. So here you have to put a comma, and after you have to use Meg, and here you have to put a question mark. Come in, Divya, and sit here. So come in, Divya. After also you have to put a comma and sit here, full stop. So I hope students that when you're addressing some person, so that time you have to put a comma with some words with person name, etc. To separate a question tag from the remaining the sentence. I hope you know what is question tag. You know, question tag is a short question, is a short aren't you, isn't you, did he, etc. And as we know that question tag means if your sentence is positive, we have to give answer in a negative form. If your sentence is in a negative form, you have to put a question tag in a positive. Look at here. You are joking, aren't you? Look at this sentence is a positive, affirmative. You are joking. And what is question tag? Aren't you? So, between this sentence and this question tag, don't have to put a full stop. You have to put a comma. He didn't agree, did he? Now look at second sentence. He did not agree. He didn't agree. It's a negative sentence, so your question tag is positive. Now, between question tag and your sentence, you have to put a comma. So students, by using question tag to separate the sentence with a question tag, you have to put a comma. So we have to use comma in a 4-way to separate the words of a series or list. So the words which is given in a series form or in a list form, we have to use comma to separate the quotation before or after. If it's given before, so then also you have to put a comma. If it's given after, before means if there is written, he said, I can't come with you. So that time you have to put a comma before. I can't come with you, he said. So that time also you have to put a comma. To separate the words using to addressing, to saying something to someone. And to separate a question tag from the remaining, from the other sentence. So in this 4-way, we have to use comma. We have learned today one full stop. At the end of simple sentence, we have to put a full stop. At the end of direct question, we have to put a question mark. At the end of the exclamation sentence, we have to put an exclamation mark. And this comma, we don't have to put a end of the sentence. If you put it at the end of the sentence, means your sentence is not over. So for comma, we have learned 4 things. That when there is a series of words, when the series of lists are given, we have to put a comma. But if there is given and between these 2 words, so that time we have to neglect, we have to remove comma. To separate a direct question, to separate words, to address, to say something to someone, and to separate the question tag with the sentence, we have to put comma. Now students, quotation marks, apostrophe and capital letter, this punctuation we'll learn in a next video with the exercise. So students, try to understand it, try to learn it, try to make a sentence by using full stop, question mark, exclamation mark and comma, and write in your CW. Thank you all and have a wonderful day.